Toss play McCaffrey. The blockers in front. Has a crease. McCaffrey with speed. Down the sideline. McCaffrey one man to beat. A little hesitation. And Ahkello Witherspoon finally able to bring him down. Inside the 15 at the San Francisco 13. A 51-yard gain for Christian McCaffrey.
Now, back to Willard and Dibs on 95.7 The Game.
Well, that's Kevin Kugler on Fox on the broadcast, and I bet you know exactly what I'm going to point out after listening to that. What do you think stands out as McCaffrey flies down the left sideline?
How much that Kugler carries his partner, snap after snap.
Okay, that's one observation.
Mark Sanchez, his color guy,
know.
And Mark's having fun.
Absolutely.
But I mean,
I know some people didn't love the performance yesterday.
Well, I mean, that's just Mark.
Yeah.
And Mark is, he does it his own way, and he's very off the cuff, and he has a good time.
I know that Mark was feeling a little bit better by what Jordan Love did yesterday in Atlanta. As far as embarrassing things that quarterbacks have done, like there's the butt fumble.
Yeah.
There's Jimmy and Orlovsky stepping out the back of the end zone. Jordan Love, if you saw this, looked every bit the part of somebody who is wasted on a Saturday night at 1 a.m. trying to get home. I mean, he made a move to the right and he just stumbled and fell into the butts of his offensive linemen.
Yeah, it's awkward.
That's a false start.
Yeah.
We're going backward 5 yards.
And what do you do?
What do you do?
At least he didn't give up the football in the process.
He did not. No, that was not going to be my number one observation. Grandy, can you play that again and then just pull it down right after McCaffrey gets out into the open field? Can we hear a little bit more of Kugler on Fox? Let's take a listen.
Toss play McCaffrey. The blockers in front. Has a crease. McCaffrey with speed. Down the sideline. McCaffrey one man.
Listen to that freaking road crowd.
That was a road game? I hadn't noticed.
Look, we knew what it was going to be, but it's still intense when you see it. I mean, 70%, my you-know-what.
Right.
It was like 98.6%. It was like taking somebody's temperature for crying out loud.
It was crazy, the first crowd shot where they do, it's like the overhead sky cam or whatever, and it's like they start to sweep half the stadium, and it's almost completely red.
Dude.
Like, you saw some speckles of blue, but it's supposed to be the other way around. It's supposed to be blue with speckles of red.
I mean, there was a tiny bit of, I almost felt sympathy. Right? Did you see that there was a field camera that somebody sent out on social media? Remember the Fred Warner sack?
Yeah.
The blitz in the second half? And so, you know how a crowd gets on defense. That's when they're really trying to make some noise. And it was crazy.
Totally.
Like they're trying to make some noise and mess up the offense.
He had to go to a silent count at home.
You're damn right he did. And the crowd noise on that Warner sack, you're like, this is not possible. This can't be a road NFL environment. It can't be, but it is. And in fact, the caption underneath this was, I don't know what's going on here because this has been sort of the definition of Charger football games for a long time now in the NFL, especially since they, air quotes, moved to L.A. The person was like, this is worse. This is worse than anything I've ever seen for a Charger game. So there was something extra special. We know about when it's the Rams, we know L.A., and we know the way the Niner fan base has been traveling the last handful of years. This felt like something even that was the next level up. I mean, the Rams fans had zero imprint on this football game whatsoever. That would have been an impressive turnout at Levi's.
Exactly. But they were at home.
Wild.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, man.
It's crazy, but it's no surprise, and it's maybe even a little bit more dramatic than what we would have expected. We talked about it last week and how it's going to be a Niner home game, and I think we had the stat of 64.6% of the secondary market tickets were sold to Niner fans. Well, that doesn't account for the primary market or the scalper market. So when you looked at the crowd, it felt like or looked like about 75-25 Niner fans on the road.
No doubt. At least, and I know part of it is because the color that all of us wear really, really pops on a television screen.
Right.
I mean, honestly, when you look at the umbrella view, it looks like 100%.
Right.
It's like, what percentage are we talking about? I don't see any blue out there. The end zones are blue. Outside of that, it's just red.
Right.
Nothing but red.
Certainly not a lot of like pockets of all blue. There weren't all blue sections. There were more Niner fan sections that it appeared than Ram fans for sure.
And are any Niners fans wearing like, I don't know, a gray hoodie that says Niners on it?
No, but maybe a white jersey.
A black hat, a white jersey? No, everybody's wearing red.
Seems like it. On the road, you always want to wear the red.
Oh, man.
You want to represent, unless you go to Kansas City, and then it might be a little bit of a tougher spot. But even if Niner fans were to wear, I don't know, gold or wear white in Arrowhead, you're not going to get 75% of the crowd in Kansas City.
No, it's crazy, man. And I hope when you get to Sundays, or for instance, when we get to Thursday night, and we'll be there, and please come by and see us. We're going to be down there broadcasting and head over to the game. Really hope that we get to hang out with some listeners and get ready for that one. But I hope everybody is savoring even just the start of this a little bit. And it's the big picture. It's not just, hey, the Niners are good. You don't need anybody to tell you that. But this kind of stuff with your favorite sports team, it does not come around very often. It does not come around very often. And in fact, I would argue that this is like the second or third time that it's happened in my lifetime as a 49er fan. And I know a lot of fans of teams where they're our age and it has not happened at all yet. And what I mean by that is when your team is such a damn show. They're good. They have stars. There's a feeling when they drop back to pass where you're like, it's almost like a Durant, Steph, Clay thing, like when it was the Warriors a handful of years ago. But then also the energy of the fan base when it's home, when it's road, it is just clicking at such a level right now. I don't know, man. This is why when they win without necessarily looking like they threw their first pitch, I think we're all going to be hard pressed to show up and take shots at this team, because that, to me, that's the mark of absolute greatness. I remember a bunch of games where Tom Brady looked like it was a little bit sleepy, and then in the fourth quarter, they're like, somehow they're up by 10. Same thing yesterday. Right.
So what do you want to give them in terms of a grade as a team, knowing what we know about their ability and the way it looked and the way it went? I think if you give them anything lower than a B, then you're probably grading too tough. If it's a B plus or if it's higher, whatever it is, even if you give them a B, if they had their B effort, their quarterback threw for 206 and no touchdowns, no picks, 17 of 25. He was good. He wasn't spectacular. He wasn't great. Christian McCaffrey and the running game was amazing. Almost 6 yards a carry.
Yep.
And you had 3 rushing touchdowns. McCaffrey, Debo, and Brock. The receivers, they all did their job. The only drop, and I don't even know if Brandon Ayuk is credited for a drop on the one where he clearly had a shoulder injury, but you didn't have any drops, and your defense didn't really make any big mistakes. You might have thought they played a little soft. They didn't get after the quarterback as much as you would think that they should or would want, but in general, they tackled. They kept it in front of them for the most part. They played a solid game.